If you're thinking about buying or selling in the Portland Metro, you're gonna wanna see this video. Today, we're gonna talk about what's going on right now, today, in the local market. Okay, now let's get right into it. Here we are in 2023. This is the February market action report for the Portland metro area. And again, if you want to talk specific neighborhoods, give me a call. My information's right down there in the description area, and I'd love to talk to you one-on-one to give you more nuanced information about different neighborhoods. In this video, we're gonna go more broad scope so you can kind of see, hey, what's going on? What are the trends here in Portland? So as you can see right behind me is the inventory in months. So let's look over there. February 2023, 1.9 months in inventory. Now that is a dramatically lower number than we saw in January. And just to give you a quick overview of what the market feels like right now and what I'm seeing before we jump into all the numbers is it is a tighter market right now. It is starting to speed up. You know, some of those things are gonna come with the time of year. Here we are, Monday is gonna be officially spring. So, you know, here we go. This is when it usually picks up in the amount of people that are looking to buy and sell because school's getting out. It's that time of year. It's nicer weather. People are wanting to get out, go home shopping. This is the busier time of year. This is when it picks up, is the springtime, going right into summer here for the Portland metro area. So it's to be expected, but that is quite a bit lower in the amount of inventory, 1.9 months versus 2.7 the previous month. Before that, it was 2.3 in December and 2.6 in November. And as you can kind of see there, 2.4 October, 2.2 September. So we were steadily, as we started end of summer, going into winter, inventory was picking up, and then it kind of held steady there, that 2.4, 2.6, 2.3, 2.7 for those last 4 months. It was holding pretty steady. And then boom, right as we got into the February numbers, you know, it dropped by almost a solid full month there of inventory, which is a big deal. You know, that's almost, it's like a 30% drop in the amount of inventory. So part of that is because it's still not picking up in the amount of listings getting on the market, but more people are getting comfortable with the interest rate. They're saying, okay, hey, it's in the 6% range. That's been pretty stable. It's been fluctuating, you know, a quarter point, half a point up and down, but pretty steadily they're that 6% for the last few months. So I think buyers are getting more comfortable with that, and we are seeing more buyers, more people ready to buy, but there's still not a lot more inventory coming on the market. And so that's why we're seeing that big drop in the amount of inventory on the market. Just more of that's getting gobbled up a little bit quicker. And that's especially gonna hold true for homes that are show ready, there's nothing to do to them, they're painted, they're staged, they look great, they're at a good price point, they're not overpriced. You're gonna see competition there. And just in the last couple of weeks, I'm starting to see multiple offers, especially on homes that are in that, say, 700 to 500 price range. If it's show ready, desirable neighborhood, those homes can get multiple offers right now that we're seeing. That still really is a market of two worlds here, where before I've been saying, you know, half the properties seem to go within that first couple of weeks, and the other half of the inventory seems to sit there a little longer and needs price reductions. That's starting to be a little less of the case now. Things are moving a little bit faster, but again, you are still seeing some properties sit there. Part of that is going to be price point, neighborhoods, how well it presents, does it need cosmetic updating? All those factors still play into it, but then the price point really plays into it as well. So if your price point is in that $600,000 price range, which is about the average here for the Portland Metro, it's a little bit below that, then you are going to see more competition for the homes, especially if it's move-in ready. So just keep that in mind, and that's just going to heat up as we get into spring. That's the normal, and that's what we're seeing right now as well this year. And just to touch base real quick on Lake Oswego, where I live, and the market trend that's happening right now in Lake Oswego, where I live, is really the same that's happening in the Portland Metro and everything I've just talked about, but it's even tighter than the Portland Metro, especially if you're looking for a home that's under $1.3 million that you want move-in ready, all those desirability factors like a bigger lot, a lawn, move-in ready, not a lot of updating to do. That inventory is very, very tight. So if you're looking in Lake Oswego specifically, I'd highly recommend reach out to me. My information is right down there. And that way we can jump on a call, find out exactly what you're looking for, and then be ready for it when it hits the market. Okay, so with that, let's jump into the numbers. So we just talked about the inventory in months. We're at 1.9. Things are tightening up. And just to quickly go over here, our new listings, 1,700, which decreased 31% from 2,500 a year ago. Again, that's to be expected. That's still on with the current trend. Not as many listings are hitting the market. And it decreased 9% from January. We had even less listings than in January, 9% less. Demand is up and the amount of listings is decreasing, not increasing. Now, hopefully this spring, those numbers will start to turn around a little bit and we'll start to get more inventory on the market. But again, what's fighting that is the interest rate. So many people have locked in 3% interest rate, so that is preventing people from wanting to sell and move unless they need to. Pending sales, 1,700, decreased from 30% from the previous year. Again, not surprising there, but let's talk about more in the nuanced, which is from last month. They decreased 3.8% from January 2023. So closed sales, this is really interesting. So in February, this shows you how much tighter the market is getting, why we have a lot less on market right now, because we're not getting any more inventory on market, but the amount of closings increased 32% from the previous month. So that's quite a bit. It picked up by a third the amount of people looking to buy, willing to buy, 32% more closed sales in February versus January. So that right there tells you that it's picking up, buyers are getting more comfortable with the market. And we already covered this. Total inventory decreased to 1.9 months in February from 2.7. And let's look here to the average and median sales price. The median sales price decreased 3.7% from $519,000 to $500,000. Again, this is the Portland Metro. Every neighborhood's gonna be a little bit different. And that's definitely what we're seeing here in the Portland Metro. So it really does matter what neighborhood you're looking at and want to move to. Some are moving faster than others, so it's really important to give me a call and let's talk about the neighborhood you want to target. Now they've changed up the graphics here this month, so they've got a new layout. So this is actually really handy to have. They take all the stats we just went through and they just put them in some quick and easy to read. So you can say, hey, you know, as the number is going down, it's down in orange with the arrow. Hey, is it going up? It's up in green with an arrow. So this is kind of cool. Again, if you want a copy of this, just shoot me an email and I'd be happy to send it over to you. They also have this cool heat map, which is really interesting. We'll get into more of that in the next time, but they break it down for that month, you know, how many homes actually sold in 1.8 to 1.9 million, 1 in February, 2 in the 1.7 to 1.8 million, 5 in the 1.6 to 1.7 million, above 2 million, 10 sold in February. So they really bring it down, give you this heat map to show you where most of the homes are selling at. So you can see that it really gets in that $300 to say $700,000, you're gonna get the bulk of the homes selling here in the Portland Metro. So this is the whole Portland Metro. That does help to give you a little picture of the trends and how the prices are fluctuating on any given year. So here they got 2021, 2022. You can kind of see that more we're in that lower price range, then more as prices were going up, more kind of shifted up a level. And then now as inventory has gotten tighter, that upper level has cooled off a little bit and it's just kind of tightened back up. So the total market time for the Portland Metro is 71 days. Last month it was 65 days. Total market time has gone up even though the amount of listings has gone way down and the amount of pending deals this month compared to the previous month has gone up, but we have a lot less inventory. So we will look at this number next month when the numbers come out to see if that has started to impact those total days on market. my guess is that total days on market will probably start to come down. Let's look at this graph right here. This is the amount of active residential listings. So you can see here we are right here in the orange, 2023. And this really gives you a good visual. And then here we are 2021 and 2022. This is where we had that super tight market, right? Like things were just flying off the shelves and interest rates were still really low. You can see on paper, it seems like we have twice the amount of inventory on the market, but those are just active listings, not the amount of inventory. And that's because our days on market are way, way higher than it was last year. Now, when you go to the next graph, this kind of puts that into perspective. This is the amount of new listings. Look how much lower we are compared to the last 2 years. So that really has an influence of how many new listings we get that month put onto the market. And right now, it's a lot less than it was last year. So you can see we had about 2,500 new listings in February, and here we're at about 1,750. So that is dramatically less. We're hoping that follows the trend from the previous years and starts to spike up. So that's what we're looking for. Be on the lookout for that. And here we go to pending sales. Again, that should follow the amount of new listings. Hopefully that trend will start to follow with it. So this is a really good graph to look at today. Here's the average and median sales price. Here's our average sales price and the median. They're pretty closely related. So this follows, here we are 2015 all the way over to 2023. Okay, so starting at about $300,000. Here we go, kind of moving along, and then boom, we get a big spike. It comes back down, and then boom, we get another big spike here on inventory. Then interest rates start getting hiked up, and then here we are really coming down on our average sales price. So we peaked at here about $650,000 if you're looking at the average sales price, and then it pulls down, and here we are at about $540,000 in January, and you can see, boom, now it's starting to spike back up. And what that means is this is a great illustration for how the market is behaving right now and what I'm seeing by when I mentioned that I'm seeing multiple offers on some listings. You can see it right here in this graph that buyers are jumping back into the market, things are getting offered on, and because of that, we're not getting the new listings. Things are gonna really start to get tighter and tighter, I think, into the spring. So if you're waiting for a whole bunch of more properties to come on the market, I hope it happens, but don't be surprised if you don't see this big plethora of new listings. I don't think we're gonna get them unless sellers are really motivated to sell. And what that translates to you as the buyer, in my opinion, is now is a great time to buy. We're in that uptrend as inventory is starting to go down. Prices are starting to rebound a little bit. I think we've hit that bottom of the prices. Again, it really depends what price point you're at, but I think your negotiation power is gonna start to go down as a buyer as we get into a hotter market here throughout the spring. Okay, now let's look at the area report, which we get into the numbers here for North Portland, Northeast Portland, Southeast Portland, Lake Oswego, Westland, West Portland. So here's a really good snapshot depending on which area you're looking in. Here are all the numbers, so go ahead and pause that video so you can really check out and get a good look at these numbers. I'm just gonna highlight a couple of them here, otherwise this video would take way too long. So let's quickly talk about West Portland. Active listings, and that's right down here at the bottom, 432 new listings, 219, 161 pending sales. So pending in 2023 versus 2022 is down 35%. Again, we have a lot less listings compared to last year, so that's not a surprise. Average sales price on the west side, West Portland, is about $650,000. Total market time, 115 days. That's right, that is a big number. And in West Portland, I mean, you can kind of see here, that's where a big part of the inventory is right now. So now if you look up here to Lake Oswego, if you're looking in the Westland Lake Oswego market, they do mix those together. So those numbers are different than if you're just looking in Lake Oswego. Lake Oswego is more expensive than Westland. So that does pull those numbers down when you average them together. So 149 active listings, new listings in that February month was 92, and pending sales 54. Average sales price $984. Look at this big number right here. Pending sales 48%, minus 48% from the previous year, which just shows you how tight the inventory here is in Lake Oswego and West Lynn compared to what it normally is. So if you are looking in that neighborhood, give me a call so we can definitely dive into what exactly you're looking for and be ready for it when it hits the market. And then let's look up here to Southeast Portland, 283 active listings, 228 were new listings, and closed sales 196. So pending this year versus last year, minus 20%, average days on market 74, average price 48. Here's a fun graph where they break it down by county and parts of the Portland Metro. These are all the median sales price. Let me just center this here, right here, so you can kind of see the main Portland Metro. All right, everybody, if you have any questions, again, reach out and I will share with you guys next month the new numbers. And I'm very curious to see where it's gonna go. I think everybody knows, for the most part, where those numbers are trending. It's gonna continue to be a tighter market. Hopefully, the variable we're gonna see there is more inventory coming on the market. But I do think there is gonna be more competition. You can see we're trending in that direction. More buyers are jumping in, but we're not getting that inventory. Hopefully, we start to get that inventory picks up to kind of match the demand there. Because what we don't want is to get into bidding wars and things like we saw last year. We're already starting to see it a little bit on some of the deals, so just be prepared. Okay, everybody, my name's Aaron Cullen. I'm a local real estate agent. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out.